I chose to do core because my older brother had done core. He always told me how great it was, how much he learned, and he really encouraged me that it was just a great program.
I knew that I wanted that liberal arts foundation, sort of your classical college experience. It just helped me feel more traditional with some of the works we were studying.
BU is a huge school, so having a family, basically a core family is what it is. It's a community where you really grow together.
These are going to be the same people that you see every day, that you grow with, that you share meals with.
You're going through the core experience and the freshman experience together, that we are reading the same books, talking about them at dinner, having really intense discussions.
The community aspect was definitely why I stuck with it.
That really helped give me this feeling of that I belonged to BU and that it was all going to be okay.
Going to class wasn't like going to class, it was going to talk about things that you cared about with a group of people who also really cared about them.
Sometimes I feel like core was like the best book club that you could ever be in.
It is.
People that start core or continue core at least, they're all so different in what they study. So whether it's international relations or political science or sociology or language or math or anything else like that, they all have their different perspectives that they can bring to it. You see so much self-discovery in not only yourself, but you also see how other people are growing.
A lot of it is what happens in discussion and then the relationship that you build with your professor.
So many amazing professors, and each one had their own different style.
I took the same professor all 4 semesters in the humanities. She was definitely a great resource in terms of how do I approach this subject, how do I write a paper about this, how do I talk about it in class. You'd go into discussion and it was awesome because you could say what you thought about it, and you could say, well, I totally disagreed with this, or why did the lecturer say this?
Having someone be like, teach me something, was just such a great experience.
The freedom to speak about it, but then to exchange ideas with the professor and your classmates.
I think every core professor is so inspiring because they all are brilliant minds in their fields.
You get a lot of access to someone who's highly qualified in their field and wants to be with you.
What you take away from college, what you take away from core, what you take away from my class at this point is not a grade. You take away something that should be changing your life. You learn to love what you're studying.
You have to make these texts come alive outside the classroom.
So when you can have a conversation with someone else and talk about the things that you've studied in core, and they're like, I never thought about that, and it's like, well, you should have taken the core.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that sometimes.
Think about it and how is it relevant?
Everybody is got some sort of epic that they're a part of. You see in the works, what does it mean to be a functioning part of a community and to have your own adventure?
An integrated core experience, and not only studying it inside the classroom, but also taking it outside and seeing it in the museum or seeing it through dancing or an opera.
You do really get exposed to all manners of art.
They do trips to the MFA or to the Boston Public Library. Often they'll be like, well, we'll just go talk to the curator because I know them from my professional experience. And so not only are you going with a professor, you're going with the curator.
It was like, oh yeah, we studied this, but to stand in front of it and to realize that this is actually something that's real is a crazy thought that you get from core.
Core does not limit you, that you have still plenty of time to explore different things if you have no idea what you want to do with your college life. I studied abroad for 1 summer and 2 full semesters. I did core, and I also took an intro class in the School of Communications, the School of Hospitality, and the College of Fine Arts, and I still graduated with a double major.
Or it's like a long run where you get to whatever mile and you think, I can't go any further, and then someone hands you a cup of water.
It's the Boston Marathon.
Yeah,
of
it's the
Boston
Boston
University.
Marathon of Boston University, yeah.
I want to know what people in the core are doing right now. I mean, this sounds really hokey, but if I could sneak into a CC 101 lecture, I would do it because it's such a special time in college when you can ask those types of questions.
Core never leaves you. It always stays with you.
It's really this lifelong learning experience.
I've always thought of core as the biggest bang for your buck.
It was a great, great decision.
I left with skills that I knew I needed to get out of college. That, I think, was something that helped me feel the accomplishment, but also feel the excitement for the future.
Looking back, I think one of the highest praises I could give to any one of my college classes is that it made me think.
Those 2 years really mattered, and I think they will continue to matter.